Hi, welcome to another edition of our Paterno Presser. Cory Geiger joined by Neil Rudel. It's Alabama week. Should be a lot of fun. Crimson Tide come in here with national championship hopes, ranked in the top 5. We'll get to our scores a little bit later on. Neither one of us think Penn State can win this game, but if they can, which quarterback do you think will be able to be better off helping that cause?
Well, it depends how the game goes. I mean, I didn't get any reason to believe they're going to start McGloin. McGloin has proven he can, provide some instant offense off the bench. But I don't look so much at the quarterback as I think the defense and the running game and trying to maintain some kind of control of the tempo of the game probably will be more important. I think both these quarterbacks are prone to mistakes. So I don't know that either one of them has separated themselves that far yet.
Yeah, the defense will have to keep the team in the game because Alabama's going to come in here with a good defense. But Joe did say he expects both kids to play, would not tip his hand on which one would start, so we would expect both to play. Some other news, we'll get back to the quarterbacks in a minute, but some other news, Anthony Farah will play after missing the first game with the off-the-field incident. That, in and of itself, Neil, that's a big boost given what we saw in the kicking game last week with 2 missed field goals and a missed PAT.
Yeah, and also he's a weapon on kickoffs. He can kick the ball consistently in the end zone. He's a very strong leg. And, you can see the urgency of Alabama week because Joe also said that Stephon Green and even Derek Thomas probably will play.
And Joe hopes to be on the sideline. Looked a little better today than he did last week. He says he thinks he could be on the sideline, so we'll see how that goes.
I'd still rate that as highly unlikely.
Yeah, but again, this is a great opportunity for Penn State. This is a game that can help define this season. Now, they've got the 3 big conference games later on with Nebraska, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. You win this game, you have an opportunity to possibly be 9-0 going into those 3 games, and then you're all of a sudden in national championship contention into those 3. So Alabama certainly presents a lot of challenges. Last year's game was not close at 24-3 and could have been a lot worse.
Right, and that's still an Alabama team that was not a national champion. They lost 3 times, so I'm not sure it was a great Alabama team that beat Penn State, that Penn State couldn't get a touchdown on. But yet, they had an inexperienced quarterback and an inexperienced quarterback situation, and yet they moved the ball between the 20s, just wasn't able to punch it in, weren't able to punch it in the red zone. So I want to see how much Bolden has grown really since then. And also the fact that McGloin, I think, gives you a more capable backup than you had last year.
One major issue is the offensive line. That will continue to be a work in progress. Last year, they pass blocked very well early on, but did not run block very well. Well, they ran block really well against Indiana State and did not pass block very well. The Sycamores were able to get into the backfield, had 3 sacks, which is more than Penn State had, only 2. That offensive line has got to give the quarterback some time or else we won't be talking about a quarterback competition any longer. One of them's going to get hammered.
Right. I think they also had a real vanilla game plan. You didn't see a lot of the quick screens, maybe the Davon Smith and the flanker screens, things like that, that maybe can slow down a pass rush that I would guess you're going to see this week.
Neil and I will have a point-counterpoint in the mirror on this. I say Matt McGloin gives them the better chance to win this game. I'm not saying Matt McGloin's the better quarterback for the long haul over the next couple of years. Maybe Rob Bolden can develop and be a lot better. But as of right now, on September 10th, 2011, I've seen nothing to indicate that Rob Bolden can lead this team to a win against an Alabama more so than Matt McGloin can. Going back to last year, it's 27 touchdown drives for McGloin, 12 for Bolden. You can analyze that any way you want, that McGloin played against some worse defense. Whatever you want to say, the offense just moves better with Matt McGloin.
And it'll have an opportunity, I would guess, particularly if it doesn't move with Bolden. But I'm fine with the way they've decided to create this rotation. And I don't know that I would go as far as to say McGloin. I mean, based on his performance, in a similar opponent would be Florida. At least a similar type of defense, the speed of the defense. I watched LSU the other night. I mean, I think the whole SEC is on a different plane than Penn State right now, or at least the upper level of the SEC.
McGloin had the great half against Ohio State, and that was a great.
He did.
I'd make that more of a comparable defense than what Florida had.
Right. You just want me to agree with you.
No. All right. So we both think Bolden will start, but McGloin should get some opportunities. If Bolden struggles, we'll see how it goes. Now, the line opened at 11. It's 10, 10.5, 11, depending on whatever sports book you look at. But a line of 10 or 11, you've got them covering.
Yeah, I think Penn State's going to get a lot of emotion from their home crowd. And I think their defense is improved a lot over last year, and even played reasonably well against Florida. I mean, Florida put 37 points on them, but they had a blocked punt for a touchdown. They had an interception for a touchdown. So I think the defense improved late in the year and going into this year. So, and if their defense can't keep some semblance over this game, it won't be close. So I do have some faith in the defense. And I think Red gives you a kid that can maybe get into the secondary and break something better than Royster could.
Your score?
I picked Alabama 21, Penn State 16.
All right, I've got Alabama 23-10. I think Trent Richardson's one of the best backs in the country. They're going to have a hard time stopping him. Last year's 24-3 game, that's not indicative of how that game went. I think Nick Saban showed Penn State and Joe Paterno a lot of respect. They could have blown that open a lot worse. This Alabama defense, by all indications, is supposed to be better than last year. I'll give the Nits a touchdown and 10 points, but I just see Alabama being too strong, 23-10. Any closing thoughts?
Not really. I mean, you don't get these opportunities that often, and I think that we'll see if Penn State can reach back for that and see if they can spring an upset. They haven't done that on the national stage all that often. This is a great opportunity for Penn State.
Great opportunity. Players always talk about how these are the big games you come to Penn State for. Joe Paterno even said, if I were a kid playing in a game like this, I'd be excited. All right, thanks so much for joining us. For Neil Rudel, I'm Cory. We'll be here each and every week with our Paterno Presser at AltoonaMirror.com.